Rainy days don't seem so wet. Stormy nights don't stay. From the moment that we met, you were worth the wait. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know. Best thing that I'll ever know.
Hello. How are you tonight? It is 6:03. I'm sorry I'm late. Nature called right when I got ready to come in here. I had to take care of that. I couldn't sit here for 30, 40 minutes and not have. Couldn't do it. Sorry, son's doing laundry. Okay. Hello to whoever's in my live. Please hit that thumbs up. Okay, let's start with fair use disclaimer because this is for educational purposes only. So we're going to remove that. Yay. Okay, I have my incense burning here, so everything's good. Got the sage going. All right, so the title of our story was given to me by a friend of mine from the book face. She's a girl I went to school with, and she sent me the link yesterday, and I was like, okay, I need more information. So after my live last night, I started researching this, and hello. Please hit that thumbs up. It helped my algorithm. Share the video if you don't mind. So the title is 15 and Life Behind Bars. Was that your end goal? The Tristyn Bailey trial. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of background. Go the right one. Tristyn Bailey was 13 years old, and she was in middle school, and a young man in her neighborhood, they both went to the same, it's a private school. A young man in her neighborhood named Aiden Fucci lured her out into the woods under false pretenses. And, well, let's just get into it. I'm looking over here because that's where my image is, but my camera's over here. So it looks like I'm looking in the wrong direction, and I'm sorry. Let me see. Maybe the camera here. There. Now I'm in the kind of in the right spot because I can look here and I can look there. But my glasses glare, so you can't see me. I can back up. Turn the light a little bit more. Still glare. You can see my computer because there's white backgrounds on here, and I got huge computer screens and stuff. Yeah, they're about this big, this long, and I got two of them. So I'm like this much computer. All right. So let's get into this. Can't believe I'm an idiot. Okay. Anyway, it's 6:06 on Sunday night, May the 18th. We are 2 months away from National Ice Cream Day. July 18th is National Ice Cream Day. Everybody get them ice cream makers going. All right. So all my links are in the description. This first one comes from Wikipedia. Present screen. Haha. All right. The unaliving of Tristyn Bailey. The unaliving of Tristyn Bailey took place on May the 9th, 2021, on Mother's Day in St. Johns County, Florida, United States. Bailey, a 13-year-old middle schooler and teenager, was unalived by Aiden Fucci, a 14-year-old schoolmate. Bailey was reported missing by her family that morning. Her body was found later that day by a resident in a wooded area near St. John's. Her body had 114 stab wounds. A residential surveillance camera recorded Bailey walking around at 1:15 a.m. with Fucci. A later recording showed Fucci running alone in the opposite direction with his shoes in hand. This led investigators to visit Fucci's house to search for evidence. On May 9th evening, investigators searched Fucci's house, where bloody clothes were found in his room, in the bathroom sink, a knife with a fragment of the tip missing. It was found in a pond near Bailey's body, and the missing knife tip was later found during an autopsy embedded in the victim's scalp. Fucci was arrested initially on the charge of second-degree unaliving, which was changed to first-degree premeditated unaliving on May 27th. He maintained his innocence at the time. On February 6, 2023, just before jury selection was about to begin, Fucci pleaded guilty to first-degree unaliving. On March 24th, Fucci, then 16, was sentenced to life in prison. He is currently serving a sentence at Cross City Correctional Institution. The background. Tristyn Bailey was born in Singapore on January 18th in 2008 to Forrest and Stacy Bailey. She was the youngest of 5 children. Tristyn spent her first 4 years in Singapore. Family and friends described her as an energetic young girl who always stood up to her friends. Her mother said she was just a powerful child that was able to give a lot to so many. Tristyn grew up and lived in St. Johns County, Florida, when she was in 7th grade at Patriot Oaks Academy, where she stood out as a popular student and cheerleader. The unaliving. Disappearance. At 9 a.m. May 9th, 2021, the Bailey family was preparing to celebrate Mother's Day. One of Bailey's siblings went to her room to wake her up and discovered that Bailey was missing. After a short search of the immediate surrounding area, her mother, Stacy, called 911 to report her daughter missing. Early that morning, according to police reports, Dolphus Abshur, a friend of Fucci, said that Fucci had asked him for Bailey's phone number. Fucci called Bailey and convinced her to leave home and go to see a friend at 1:45 a.m. A residential surveillance camera recorded 2 people walking east on Saddlestone Drive, strongly believed to be Fucci and Bailey. At 3:27 a.m., the camera recorded a subject running toward the west carrying a pair of white shoes. Investigation. Robert Maloney and Liam Stack interviewed Abshur later that afternoon. Abshur said that Fucci and Bailey had been at his house and left together. Fucci confirmed being with Bailey at Absher's home and stated that they left around 1:10. Fucci initially claimed to have walked with Bailey along North Durban Parkway until she turned on to Cloisterband Drive to go home. Fucci stated that he walked around for some time and then arrived home at approximately 3:30 a.m. Nothing that the distance between Absher and Fucci's home is a roughly 30-minute walk. In, Investigators pressed for details. At this point, Fucci changed his story, stating that he and Bailey got into an altercation after she attempted to touch his private parts. He claimed that he pushed her away, which caused her to fall and hit her head. After the interrogation while in the back seat of the patrol car, Fucci took images and videos, publishing of the imagery on the social media app Snapchat. In one picture, Fucci captioned the image, "Hey guys, has anybody seen Tristyn lately?" In a video he sent, "We're having fun in a effing cop car. Tristyn, if you walk out the DAMN before the video cuts out."
Have ice cream?
Yes. Discovery of body. Around 6 p.m. on May 9th, a resident was walking through the wooded area at the end of Saddlestone Drive, south of Jacksonville. Upon reaching a retention pond, he found a unalived body of a girl. Around 8 p.m., it was confirmed that the girl was Tristyn Bailey. She had received 114 stab wounds, 49 of which were defensive. Her body was found with the word karma written on the inside of her left ankle and a smiley face drawn on her right ankle, but it is not known who wrote it. A buck KNIFE with a missing tip found in the pond near her body matched a fragment lodged in Bailey's scalp. The arrest. Around midnight, May 10th, police were at Fucci's house to look for evidence. In his room, they found a sheath that matched the KNIFE found near Bailey's body and clothing with BLOOD on them. Around 3 a.m., Fucci was arrested for second-degree murder, but this was changed to first-degree murder after examination of evidence and witnessed accounts. During a press conference on May 27th, State Attorney R.J. Lariza said Fucci told his friends he was going to kill someone by taking them to the woods and stabbing them. Larizzi also stated Fucci told his friends to expect the unaliving to happen within a month and that Bailey was stabbed 114 times. Fucci was subsequently transferred to Duval County Jail, where he was held without bond. His mother, Crystal Smith, was arrested for tampering with evidence after washing BLOOD off of Fucci's jeans, but was later released. A police report released by St. Johns County Sheriff's Office in July 2021 revealed that Fucci often spoke of his fantasy of unaliving people, that he often carried a KNIFE with him, and that he planned to drag a random person into the woods and stab them. Fucci's ex-girlfriend, Sophie Bowman, said that on occasion Fucci would take his KNIFE out and pretend to stab her with it. Bowman also said that Fucci claimed to hear voices in his head when he was angry, and that these voices told him that he was worthless and, and a disappointment. The trial. Shortly before jury selection was set to begin on February 6, 2023, Fucci pleaded guilty to first-degree unaliving and subsequently admitted to unaliving Bailey. As a result, a 40-year prison term was the minimum sentence for which Fucci was eligible, while life in prison was the maximum. Fucci was ineligible for the unaliving penalty as he was a juvenile when he committed the crime. Fucci also wrote a letter apologizing for the pain he caused Bailey's family and friends. Judge Smith subsequently set the date of March 24th for Fucci's sentencing. During an impact statement of the sentencing phase, which began on March 19th, Bailey's family members, friends, and members of her cheerleading team gave emotional testimony. Employees at Patriot Oaks Academy, the school which both Fucci and Bailey attended, police officers involved in the case, and Fucci's grandmother were also among those who testified. Fucci was given the maximum sentence of life in prison on March 24, 2023, at age of 16. After 25-year incarceration, he will be entitled to apply for a case review hearing. During the sentencing, Judge R. Lee Smith called for the most difficult and shocking case that he had presided over, adding, "This is not done out of greed. It was not done in retaliation, retribution, or revenge. It was not a crime of passion. It was not a crime that was committed because he felt rejected by her. It was not done in a fit of uncontrollable rage. There was no reason. There was no purpose. It was done for no other reason than to satisfy the defendant's internal desire to feel what it was like to unalive someone." During the impact statements of the sentencing phase, one of Tristyn's siblings, Alexis, dropped 114 aqua stone hearts into a glass jar, one by one, to represent the stab wounds her sister endured. The jar stayed there for each family member while they read their statement. Each concluded by adding a white stone to represent something related to Bailey's unaliving. Wow. Bailey's family formed the Tristyn Bailey Memorial Fund, which helped enact a law in the state of Florida that restricts the disclosure of crime scene photographies of any minor who has been unalived in the state. That's good. That should be all over. Okay. Now next, we will go to from People Magazine. Hello to the two people in my chat. Thank you for being here. Please hit that thumbs up. You can say hello if you want. I don't bite. Okay, this is from People. The link is in the description below. Says, when told of Tristyn Bailey's DEATH, teen suspect allegedly responded, "How is that my problem?" Really? Really? Disturbing allegations. Okay, this one is a play. So let me turn on some music here. going to have to do some pausing because of copyright. So, trigger warning.
Disturbing new allegations have emerged in the killing of 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey, the Florida teenager who was found fatally stabbed 114 times. 14-year-old Aiden Fucci was arrested on May 10th,
As the video
a day
can't be
after
played.
Tristyn was found dead in the woods at the end of a cul-de-sac near her house in St. John's. They went to the same private school together and lived in the same neighborhood. According to new documents from the 7th Judicial State's Attorney's Office released on Wednesday, when Fucci and his parents
I don't know what just happened. Let me do a refresh.
was found fatally stabbed 114 times. 14-year-old Aiden Fucci was arrested on May 10th, a day after Tristyn was found dead in the woods at the end of a cul-de-sac near her house in St. John's. They went to the same private school together and lived in the same neighborhood. According to new documents from the 7th Judicial State's Attorney's Office released on Wednesday, when Fucci and his parents were at the sheriff's office and were told that Tristyn's body had been found, Fucci allegedly replied, "How is that my problem?" The documents also reveal that during questioning, Fucci allegedly told detectives that he had kissed Tristyn.
Look how beautiful she is. That golden, honey golden hair. She is so pretty. So pretty. I can't believe he made that comment though. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Tristyn, who apparently rebuffed him. He then allegedly pushed her, causing her to hit her head when she fell. The documents also state that the detectives found bloody clothes and sneakers.
Didn't the last thing that we read say that he pushed her because she tried to touch his private parts? And this one says, I gotta back it up for just a minute.
That the detectives found bloody clothes and sneakers in Fucci's bedroom.
No, I gotta back up a little bit more.
He had kissed Tristyn, who apparently rebuffed him. He then allegedly pushed her, causing her to hit her head when she fell. The documents also state that the detectives found bloody clothes and sneakers in Fucci's bedroom, along with a notebook of his with drawings of a violent nature. Some of his drawings had a satanic element to them. The documents also allege that Fucci had talked about murdering someone before Tristyn's slaying. After his arrest, he was initially charged with second-degree murder, but State Attorney R.J. Larissa later announced that he had upgraded the charge to first-degree murder. He also said that the teen would be tried as an adult. Fucci has pleaded.
Okay. Oh, thunderstorm warning. Watch. Yeah, it's a watch. Okay. So, he says it's not his problem. He says he's not guilty. Yet the evidence was laying right there in his room. Something ain't adding up here.
Pleaded not guilty, and he is being held without bond while he awaits trial. His arrest went viral after he took a selfie in the back seat of a patrol car, flashing a peace sign, and he posted that on Snapchat with the caption, "Hey guys, has anybody seen Tristyn lately?"
Chloe.
Okay. So there's that. Something isn't adding up there. He says that she touched his private parts. Then he said he kissed her and she pushed him away, so he pushed her away. Oh, to be a child again. All right. I never thought of doing that to anybody. Never thought of doing that to anybody. New Jersey Transit rail strike ended. All right. Next, we're going to see this from Jacksonville.com. The link is in my description.
May 9th of 2021 will be forever etched in my mind.
Sheriff Ron Hardwick says it is the kind of case a sheriff prays he never sees. The pain of it still felt in Tristyn's community and in the law enforcement that worked it. But Sheriff Hardwick says all of that pales in comparison to the pain felt in the Bailey family,
My heart is broken and it is devastated.
with whom he has grown close to in the last year, often speaking with Tristyn's father, Forrest Bailey.
For whatever reason, we've been put in this position together, him and I. And with that being said, we are forever bonded with each other and, for probably the rest of our lives.
Outside of the gruesome details of the case, the role social media played also came into the spotlight. With a
Okay, did you notice everybody in their family was wearing green? They're part of the green team. Yay!
Aiden Fucci posting this ominous selfie on Snapchat from the back of a deputy's car, referencing Tristyn.
The selfie. What was your reaction when you first saw it?
It's disturbing to me, but also too, it's actually helpful in the case too as well.
Cop car.
Yep. And this is one of those cases where you have to use every piece of the puzzle to solve the crime. In this particular case, again, we're using social media as part of that.
Do you foresee any other charges or any?
Okay, in the Sebastian Rogers case and in the Summer Wells case, they're saying social media, and in the Brian Koberger Idaho 4 case, all three cases, they're saying social media is causing an issue with being able to solve the case. In this one, and all it takes is one. All it takes is one. In this one, the officer just said they had to use social media to be able to solve the case. Social media is good. The green team is good. Yay, green team.
Any other people being charged in this crime, conspirators or anything else?
I believe now, based on the evidence they have, that there's nobody else responsible for the actual murder of Tristyn. I think we can put an exclamation point behind that. But with that being said, of course, as we go down this road of prepping for prosecution and again, talking to witnesses, things are said sometimes that they didn't say the first time.
I guess witnesses in this case would be A, the people with the Ring door cameras, and B, their friends from school. Like with him saying that he wanted to unalive somebody and that he would do it within a month and these kind of things. Those people that he was talking to.
But as of right now, nothing has come out of the ordinary. Nobody else charged that I know of, unless the state attorney's office has something going on.
As the community sits back and reflects on this case, Sheriff Hardwick says he hopes people will focus on the good life Tristyn lived and the person that she was, not just how she died.
You go to that house, you can feel the love in there. You can feel her in that house she's been memorialized, whether it be family photos, and you can feel the love amongst the brothers and sisters and the family in that house. So again, for me, it's trying to, I wish I could close that door and say, hey, the happy day was over with, the day before Tristyn was murdered, but easier said than done as a sheriff, because I know the family is going to suffer forever.
And as the case moves towards a trial,
I just got a thing that said Trump others wish Biden well after aggressive prostate cancer diagnosis. So former President Biden has been diagnosed with prostate cancer. Let's all put prayers out for him, whether you're Democrat or Republican. It's sad for anybody to have cancer. So Lord bless former President Biden. Amen. Thank you to the second person who's come into chat. Please hit that thumbs up and help the algorithms.
he hopes the investigative work the department has done can give the Bailey family some piece of justice. But he knows that justice is different from closure.
You want to come to closure, but what is the definition of closure in this? I don't know. Is it prison? I don't know. I know that, for us is that we dot our I's, we cross our T's, and we pay a lot of attention to the family of the victim. And also, too, we present the best case to make this defendant be prosecuted.
In St. John's,
Can we hire this officer in Sumner County, please? Please? We need his expertise in Sumner County. Hello to the third person in my chat. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. Please hit that thumbs up and help my algorithm. It's a free way to support the channel.
County, Katie Jeffries, First Coast News, on your side.
That's so hard. I know we've all thought about, what if I were the mother? What if I were the sister? Thought about this a lot. Well, the trial for the teenager accused of killing Bailey is set to begin this November. Aiden Fucci is charged with first-degree murder. He's being tried as an adult. He has pleaded not guilty.
Wow.
I mean, right now they have.
And next we are going to see, it's like a TikTok short, I'm guessing, except it's called News Player through an app called Newsbreak. And this is what my friend Karen sent me. Yes, there can be good Karens. They're not all ugly. This is what my friend Karen sent me yesterday. And after seeing just this short little clip, I had to do some more research and find out. And I hope you're finding what I'm learning interesting as well. Please hit that thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. You can join the channel if you want to by clicking that little button down in the bottom right-hand corner of your phone screen. It looks like a little dollar sign. Yeah, you can join the channel there. It's only $1.99. So thank you for that. Let's look at this. This is the little TikTok short. I'm going to call it a TikTok short bit. It's a news player. All right, this is courtesy of Newsbreak, and the link is in my description.
Life in prison. 114 stab wounds, 49 defensive wounds, 35 wounds to the head and neck, 29 to the back and shoulder, and 6 fatal wounds. This court has reviewed and seen more than its fair share of autopsy photos. The autopsy photos in this particular case were particularly difficult. The 49 defensive wounds indicate that Tristyn Bailey was conscious, she was aware, and that she was doing everything she could to fend off this attack. She suffered a painful, horrifying death from someone that she trusted. Her screams were most likely stifled by her own suffocating lungs. He lured her into a secluded place in the woods near his home, a person that she trusted, and he led her there under false pretenses. I sentence you to life in prison. 114 stab wounds, 49 defensive wounds, 35 wounds to the head and neck, 29 to the back.
It says, because the KNIFE was too short to KILL instantly, he STABBED the girl 114 times. The girl could only DIE while feeling the pain of each STAB. Did you see him sitting there? Looking around. He didn't care. He didn't care. He's got 3 hots and a cot for the rest of his life. That boy don't ever have to pay a bill. He'll never have to learn what it's like to grow up. All he has to do is 3 hots and a cot for the rest of his life. I'm sorry. That's just wrong. All right. Next, we are going to go into, it's a 38-minute video, but I don't think I'm going to play all of it. But I do want to hear what his mom and dad have to say, and his sisters. It's the the family dynamics of the case. It's it's just wrong. And then there's one more after this I want to look at. Let me present screen. Where's my cursor? Where's my cursor at? This is from Bing Videos and also from Court TV, so I'm going to have to do some pausing. Let's go up here.
Whenever you're ready, Miss Bailey.
Your Honor, I am Stacey Bailey. I am Tristyn Tyne Bailey's mother.
Tristyn Tyne Bailey. What a beautiful name.
As her friends called her T. Not many know what Forrest and I faced during our pregnancy with Tristyn. We were moving to another country, Singapore, when I found out I was expecting another child. To say the least, it was a surprise as we thought we were done after having 4 children. I was terrified to be pregnant in a foreign country, but soon found myself with amazing medical care. I was put into a high-risk category and I had a high-risk doctor because we were told that Tristyn potentially had Down syndrome. And then it got worse from there as they found a spot or potentially a hole in her heart. We faced every day wondering if she would be okay. The fear was constant, which was incredibly difficult on my family. We prayed every day that she would be okay. But never once did we ever question that she was wanted and loved no matter what. Our prayers were answered when she came into this world with no signs of a spot on her heart and she did not have Down syndrome.
I'm sure that if she'd had a hole in her heart or Down syndrome or both, she would have been loved just as much. I was born with a hole in my heart, and I corrected it by biting on an electrical cord the day before I was supposed to have open heart surgery. But a hole in your heart can be repaired. So I know it sounds terrible, but it can be repaired. So that was back in 1967, and they still use electricity on heart patients today. I'm not saying I'm responsible. I'm just saying. In the words of Bullhorn Betty, just saying. Okay, let's go.
In time, we learned that Tristyn's heart was stronger than most, and it would be a gift that she would share with the world. We soon learned that she was a child that needed to be front and center from day one. Tristyn Tyne she was incredibly loud from the get-go. She never really cried. It was more like a scream, ear-piercing at times. Growing up in Singapore for the first 4 years of her life was amazing. Her siblings and her had an incredibly close bond. But she had a bond with me that was unbreakable.
I'm sorry. With my OC, it bothers me that her mouth is not in sync with the words. But this isn't my video. I can't correct that. I'm sorry.
Forrest used to say, "Nobody else seems to matter except for you, Stacey." She was always a very social child, always striving to do the best in every aspect of her life. She joined the cheer world at a very young age and pushed herself to be the best that she could be while always encouraging others. At school, she had excellent grades and had many friends. One of the things that stood out to me the most was how she fiercely protected others from being bullied. Tristyn truly had a heart of gold. For me, I have always loved being a mother and vowed endlessly to love, teach, and protect my children. I spent so many weeks traveling with Tristyn for cheer over the years. I was lucky enough to have a lot of one-on-one time with her. During these times, we would have conversations about friends, school, the good, the bad. I will never forget conversations about one boy in particular who was always getting in trouble in her class for years. I always ended the conversation with, "Just be kind to him. He probably needs friends. He probably doesn't have many." Little did I know that she did that over the years. At Tristyn's celebration of life, a boy waited in a long line of people to speak with me. To be honest with you, he's the only thing I really remember from that day. Everything else are just brief flashes of memories. He waited for so long to speak with me, and the tears poured out of his face. His words still resonate with me to today. He said, "She was my best friend."
Oh, she was my best friend. That must be the young man that always got in trouble, and she was nice too. Oh.
And she was my only friend. I spent more than a month trying to figure out who this boy was. It turned out to be the same boy that we had talked about so often. At that moment, I knew just how extra special my daughter was and how she truly learned a valuable lesson of just be kind. I will treasure these moments and lessons taught for the rest of my life. I, however, failed in one lesson. I did not know that I needed to teach Tristyn to be afraid of the evil in her own school, to be cautious and fearful of the people you think are your friends. Aiden Fucci, you betrayed us all. I have seen the traumatic impact of Aiden's horrific actions and how they have affected all that knew and loved Tristyn. I have watched her friends become afraid to go to school and fearful of who they could and could not trust. I have watched the depression, the PTSD, the anxiety.
That is terrible. It's unthinkable. I mean, one little boy could do so much damage. Why?
Anxiety take over so many. Worse than anything, some of these feelings go so deep that several kids have tried to take their own lives from this incident.
Oh no.
I carry the weight of this on my shoulders every single day. The guilt eats away at me. While I know it is not my weight to bear, it doesn't change the fact that I feel this. I feel that I have to protect and be there for each of her friends to let them know how much they mean to me. Aiden Fucci has destroyed so many lives by his vicious choice to take my child's life.
Let's give her a minute. She's got to collect herself. I believe I would have to collect myself. It would be all I could do. Sorry, a couple people left. It would be all I could do to get through reading that. Because I would want to just walk over there and slap his face.
I want to bring you to the weekend of Mother's Day, May 9th, 2021. It was Friday night, and we were preparing for an event at our business. Tristyn came to me asking me if she could go to Food Truck Friday because all of her friends were going from school. I immediately said no because of our work event, and I could not go with her. You see, she had only gone one other time, and I was not willing to let her go without supervision. She begged to go with one of her friends that I had not met. but said that I could meet her parents as they would be watching over her. I agreed that if I met the parents and felt comfortable, I would consider letting her go. I drove to her friend's house, I met the mom, and we agreed that the girls could go as the dad would be taking them and bringing Tristyn home too. It was reassuring to meet another family who had the same parenting style as us. This night is where the weekend starts to crumble in hindsight. You see, Your Honor, many kids that night planned to sneak out, not thinking anything could go wrong. They just thought they were going to be having fun and hanging out together. Saturday night arrives. It was just a normal day around our house. I can remember Sophia and Tristyn planning what they were going to be making me for a surprise breakfast that next day, Mother's Day. They asked me to stay in my room until it was ready. Later that day, we went to dinner, and then we went to see our daughter Alexis and her new litter of Sphinx kittens. We didn't stay long because we were all tired. How I wish I had never gone to bed and stayed up longer. The next morning, Sophia prepared breakfast by herself, as Tristyn never came down to help. Needless to say, my Mother's Day morning was soon filled with panic as my son informed us that Tristyn was not in her room as he went to tell her it was time for breakfast. I thought to myself, this can't be. She must be in the bathroom or her sister's room. I immediately ran upstairs to indeed find she was gone. We all frantically were yelling for her and running through the house with no reply from our precious daughter. Forrest yelled for me to call the police, and this is where our nightmare went into full force. My heart was pounding with every second that passed, pleading with the police to help me. We soon found ourselves calling our friends on the phone, using social media, and yelling in the streets for anyone to help us. How could this be? This crazy thing of social media is there is always a trail.
This is true. With social media, if anything's said to anyone on social media, it's there forever. It's there forever.
And we knew within an hour who Tristyn was last with. I thank God for that trail, even though I find some of social media to be the bane of my existence. The minutes turned into hours of not knowing where our daughter was. I called her phone, as so many did, for it just to go to voicemail. Everything that happened that day is a blur. I do know that there were so many people trying to help find our daughter. Our community was there for us and completely put their Mother's Day plans aside. At some point around 2:00 in the afternoon is when my mother saw a dragonfly. And she said to me, "Stacy, look, it's good luck. They're gonna find her." Unfortunately, I shoved my mother as hard as I could and started yelling at her. Because in that moment, I knew my child was not coming home. I tried desperately to apologize.
That has got to hurt so bad. Oh my goodness. Welcome to my cat.
Apologize for pushing her, but it was such an uncontrollable moment. You see, when my father passed away, I was surrounded by dragonflies, and it has soon become a symbol of my guardian angel. 4 more agonizing hours passed before I found myself sitting in our home with family and several detectives. We waited for the news that we could have never been prepared for, pleading to God to not let this happen to my family and to not take our baby girl away from us. I cannot tell you all the details of what happened when we went inside, as my brain has hidden them in my memory somewhere deep inside. I have very few memories of that day.
I can imagine. I can imagine. It's just, when your child's missing, my youngest daughter was kidnapped when she was a year old. And we knew who took her, but we didn't know where she was. And that whole day was just a blur. I didn't want to eat, didn't want to sleep, didn't want to talk, didn't want nothing. I just sat there because I didn't know where to go looking for her. I didn't know what to do.
Your Honor, what I'd like to do is share one night from a recent journal of mine this past month. It's 1:05 a.m. My eyes pop open in fear, and I try to orient myself as to where I am or if I am safe. I walk myself from the couch to my bedroom and try to get some more sleep. It's 2:05 a.m. Again, startled awake. It's 3 a.m. I'm startled awake again, as I am every night, multiple times a night. My head is pounding in pain. My thoughts are racing. My anxiety is high. My chest is tight. The thoughts immediately start. The time tells me that it's over. Tristyn lost her life by now. Visions flood my head, how terrified she must have been. What went wrong in that moment of betrayal from someone she thought was her friend? Did she know it was coming? Did you wait for her back to be turned? The first strike of the knife, the fearful shock she must have had. The second strike, what is happening? I can only imagine she tries desperately to fight him off. Why is this happening? He continues to strike over and over and over as she continues to fight. My chest pain grows tighter, and the tears are now flowing. Was she screaming for help? Did she try to reach for her phone to call for help? Tristyn's desperation to live and get away from him continues until he overpowers my child. He continues stabbing her even when there is no...
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I can't. Trigger warning. I'm sorry. The wind is picking up. We got a storm coming.
No fight left. These visions are embedded in my mind. Her beautiful blonde hair, her smile, her irresistible laughter have all been snuffed out. The guilt I have that I was not there to protect Tristyn plagues me. My thoughts continue and I cannot get it out of my head about the pain Tristyn felt. I think about how one small slip of a knife I cut my finger while cutting fruit, and it hurt so much that I almost fainted. I pray she passed out. But honestly, with the amount of defense wounds, I know she did not. She fought, and our beautiful daughter suffered for so long as he took no mercy in the 114 times you stabbed her. My heart is pounding so hard now, I think it could come out of my chest. Oh my God, please tell me this is a bad dream. Tell me that I will wake up from this horrific nightmare. The pins and needles have started in my head. The trauma migraine is here. They always come. I beg and plead with myself to just stop thinking for 5 minutes so that the pain goes away. It only increases until sharp stabbing pains take over my head, which can bring me to my knees and screaming in pain. This is my new normal every day, all day. My new life, sentenced to the torture of my child being murdered. Please stop thinking. Just go to bed, just for a few moments to relieve the pain. It's now 3:46. I try to close my eyes, but it only lasts for a brief moment as the fear is overwhelming. The darkness scares me. What is waiting to harm me out there? Will I ever have peace? No. How can I without Tristyn? It's 4:15 a.m. Sirens are going off that send me running to the living room only to find out it was on the TV. The panic is now starting to elevate to the point I can't control my anxiety. Images race through my mind of the helicopters, the police sirens, the bloodhounds, And worst of all, the police asking me to come in my house. I remember falling to my knees, begging them not to make me go inside. I knew that meant she was never coming home at that horrific moment. The darkness of the night surrounds me, and I live in constant fear of what might harm the rest of my family.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't imagine it. I would hate it if one of my children was unalived. Or my stepchildren. Or any member of my family, really. I mean, I don't know what I'd do.
A memory flashes and enters my mind as Detective Hannah knocked on my door at 3:40 in the morning that night to let us know that an arrest had been made. God, please make this stop. Wake me up from this nightmare. I want to run and find Tristyn, but then I am met with the reality she is gone. Am I losing my mind? This cannot be real. I question God. Why, oh why, did you not protect her? How could you let evil touch her? Why, God, why?
Okay, now I'm not really big religious, but God did protect her. He let her pass away because it could have been so much worse. He could have abused her in other ways, which would have been horrible. Horrible. And I'm not saying that the way he did it was not horrible. It was 100%, 1,000% horrible. But it could have been worse. Could have been worse.
This is my sleep pattern every single night for 97 weeks. Sleep deprivation at its finest. The sleep deprivation is taking a toll on me mentally and physically. I do not recognize the person looking at me in the mirror. How I wish it was someone else. The sleepless nights bring black circles under my eyes, and the swelling from the constant tear and the stress have aged me beyond my years. I have memory loss, and I live in constant brain fog. Trying to put complete thoughts together can be very challenging. I now suffer from pins and needles in my head many times a day, along with chronic migraines. My hair is breaking and falling out due to all of the stress and anxiety. The PTSD from Mother's Day has had many impacts. I run into my house at the first sign of a helicopter or sirens, and I now have a genuine fear of being outside in the dark. I check my children's location multiple times a day just to know that they are where they are in case something happens to them. Seeing police cars can send me into a panic, thinking that something is terribly wrong. The depression.
I have that feeling. Anytime my son is out, that's something kind of weird. Anytime my son is out, if he's at work and it's after 7:30 when he's supposed to get off, or after 7 o'clock or whatever when he's supposed to get off work, if I hear sirens, I get worried. Because we have a small town. No matter where the sirens are, you can hear them. And so if I hear sirens, it panics me. Especially if he's taking the truck and gone somewhere, because I'm afraid he might have an accident or something. Because he is a new driver. He hasn't had his license for a whole year yet. You know, he's still on a restricted, so he can only go to and from work or to and from school. So, yeah.
It can be debilitating at times, and I feel like my life has spun out of control. My home, which was once where we all gathered in comfort, is now a place of hurt that Tristyn is no longer there. The door to her room remains closed. It is exactly as she left it. Her bed is unmade. Her bath towel she used on May 8th is at the foot of her bed. The suitcase is still packed from the weekend before when we attended Summit with Infinity All-Star Cheer. I can't bear to change one thing, not even washing her clothes in the hamper, as it would wash away the scent of her. Many times I find our cat, who knows how to open Tristyn's door, in her room as if she's just waiting for her to return. I do not know if we will ever have comfort in our home again. My children were once full of life and laughter, and now they are full of despair, anger, depression, PTSD, and anxiety. Bailey Family Fun Day was every Sunday in our home. A day where we would all come together and have a meal and spend time together. Sunday will never be the same for us as we have a missing link in our family. The Sunday of May 9th, 2021 has made us dread every Sunday. How will it ever be whole again? Aiden Fucci, you have destroyed me. You have destroyed my family. You have destroyed Tristyn's friends. You have destroyed the community that we live in. You have caused a divide amongst friends and neighbors that should have never been. You have taken away my baby girl, my past, my present, my future, by your calculated, vile actions. I will never be able to watch her perform on stage with her cheer team. I will never see her win Summit or Worlds. I will never have our special weekends away, just the two of us. She will not be able to graduate high school or college. And her father will never be able to walk her down the aisle at her wedding. You have taken this all away from us. I will never understand the heinous choice you made that day or why my kind daughter was the one that you chose. I will spend the rest of my life grieving our beautiful daughter, longing to hear her voice and hold her in my arms. Aiden Fucci, your deplorable actions are unforgivable, and I will pray every day that you stay in prison for the rest of your life and never be able to harm anyone else in this world again. Your Honor, I plead with you. Please consider everything that he has done to our daughter and to our family. Aiden Fucci made a heinous decision on May 9th, 2021, and took the very life that I brought into this world. Please do not for 1 second think that he could be rehabilitated at any point. He is beyond saving. He should have to pay for his crime against my daughter. Justice is an empty word for our family, as it can never bring Tristyn back, but justice is for society. And he should have life without parole. Thank you for everything that you've done in this case, and I know that you have really hard choices in front of you. I'm going to be placing 2 rocks into this. This rock, this white stone, is for her sister, Sophia, who will never have the opportunity to be a big sister again, and you stole that from her. This last one is for me. And it represents everything that you have stolen from me. My words, my joy, my hope, my future, and my beautiful daughter.
Oh my word. Oh my word. I'll bet you that jar right now is sitting on the mantle at their house, representing everything. Oh my goodness.
Or we would call Forrest Bailey.
morning.
And we've heard a lot about the family impact this morning. If you would, just before you start your letter, kind of talk to the court about some of the acts of kindness and things that the community has done, in reaction to the loss and the sympathy that everybody feels for your family. Just you could summarize just some of the wonderful things that have been done.
Yeah, no, certainly. And thank you for the chance to do so. It's every day. I was out walking the dog this morning, and neighbor driving out of the neighborhood stopped and let me know that they were praying for us. And that's the type of community we live in St. John's. I think it was immediate, as was shared. We put out the notice. It was on social media, and Mother's Day, there were families all over the place that dropped all of their plans, and they went out and they were looking. And you heard in some of the statements, immediately after that week, there was a huge vigil in Durbin Crossing the next day. The cheer gyms to waive a speedy trial. But I appreciate the fact that you've tried to keep this trial moving, because this is a necessary step for us to get through so that we can move on as a family as well. I like to think that for each of us that have presented or submitted impact statements to you, that's going to give us strength in the days to come as we continue to deal with the loss. I think that you've also heard many different aspects of Tristyn when she was 13. Hearing from Bree yesterday, you recognize hopefully the type of teammate and the impact that she had and what she did with others. I'm sure that from Susan's comments, you can tell that she was the type of classmate and had an impact and help people that needed that help, and those difficult middle school hallways was a smiling and welcoming face. What likely resounded with you even more were the impacts from Tristyn's friends, both the adults and her contemporaries. She was an incredible person who was comfortable in her own skin and helped people find comfort within their own. The world is in short supply of people like that, and Tristyn was needed. I want to step back and talk to you from the family's perspective once again. A little background on me: I am very proud to be the son of Glenn and Lorraine Bailey. My aunts and uncles and cousins created such an incredible experience in my growing up. My dad was the fifth of 8 children, and seeing the dynamic they had, I knew that was something I hoped for in my life, a large family. When Stacy and I met, she likely had no idea what she was getting into as an only child, yet no one could have been better as the role model of being a phenomenal mother to a large family. We were sure to tell each of our kids that a sibling can be a gift like none other. The relationship is so incredibly unique.
That's true. There's nothing. Hi to the other people that are in chat. Edward, you got stickers on you. Your siblings are your most important allies, your most important assets. You can always go to your family when you can't go to other people. That's important. Sorry, my cat's got stickers all over him. Don't bite me.
I am so blessed to have children that treasure one another as well as mine do. I know you heard this from each of them that spoke today. Yet my daughter Sophia was not ready to do so, which I completely understand. It is an impossible task to ask her to summarize the loss of her sister. They had the most unique relationship. While so much has been shared on how Tristyn encouraged others, Sophia likely was Tristyn's biggest supporter and fueled her confidence. Sophia was always looking and taking care of Tristyn. Sophia's biggest impact of losing Tristyn will lie in the days and years to come. Sadly, I know the tremendous loss that they will have to bear in losing a sibling, as I lost my brother January 13th, 2001. He is with me constantly, and the regret and unfulfilled plans we had together. Since Tristyn was taken with us, I have not been able to look in on my parents as I should. just as it haunts me what my children are going to endure with the loss of their sister. So often our calls with my parents end with them trying to figure out any way that they can help, anything that they can do, yet they know that from the loss of my brother, I will carry Tristyn's loss with me always. Within our family, Stacy does an impeccable job of dealing with the critical items that come in on the day-to-day. Oftentimes I'm brought in to deal with some of the bigger problems and find our path forward.
You have to have one keeping y'all strong in faith. And that's what it sounds like he does. When mom's about to lose it, dad has to come in and help her be strong.
I've always been able to fulfill that role until now. There are no solutions. There's just trying to move forward and carry her with us. During so many hard times, the advice to just breathe or realize that this too shall pass is appropriate. This will not pass. I can't even answer with certainty on how we'll continue to handle all the counseling and related bills that are some of the concerns, as we've had well in excess of $36,000 just in counseling related bills. You heard from one of her friends who keeps texting her cell phone. We still pay her cell phone every month because she has a lot of friends that are still sending messages to her. Throughout our married life, I've been able to look Stacy in the eye and assure her through any difficult time that everything will be all right, and it has. With respect to Tristyn, I can't do that. It is all well known within my family that Stacy loves the early years with the kids. For me, it's always been that the older they get, the more they come to me. Yes, I love teenagers. Tristyn and I would have some of the best conversations on the ride home from practice. Her view of the world was fascinating. She had such a keen focus on seeing the best within people. She also appreciated the importance of everything you have to invest on the path to your goals. You see, it wasn't just about the competitions. She loved practice. While she talked to being a doctor,
Wow, she had a major life plan set ahead. She probably could have gone to medical school on a cheerleading scholarship.
concepts she was learning were more important in our talks than the grades. The continued expansion of our relationship with our time together has been obliterated. Stacy and I feel directionless. We are so far behind on so many things in life, from the trivial to the important. Even our life path, such as when I will retire, is in complete disarray when the baby is taken from the family. I always figured when she graduated from college, Stacy and I could enjoy travels and looking in on our family wherever life took them. Now I just don't know. Just don't know about so many things. I've lost my sense of self. Good friend of mine who lost their son described feeling like a zombie. It is a
Sorry. My cat laid on my keyboard.
Seeing the dynamic they had, I knew that was something I hoped for in my life, a large family that they can do. Yet they know that from the loss of my brother, I will carry Tristyn's loss with me always. For me, it's always been that the older they get, the more they come to me.
Ow.
Yes, I love teenagers.
Ow, Edward, your bite.
Tristyn and I would have some of the best conversations on the ride home from practice. Her view of the world was fascinating. She had such a keen focus on seeing the best within people. She also appreciated the importance of everything you have to invest on the path to your goals. You see, it wasn't just about the competitions. She loved practice. While she talked to being a doctor, the concepts she was learning were more important in our talks than the grades. The continued expansion of our relationship with our time together has been obliterated. Stacy and I feel directionless. We are so far behind on so many things in life, from the trivial to the important. Even our life path, such as when I will retire, is in complete disarray when the baby is taken from the family. I always figured when she graduated from college, Stacy and I could enjoy travels and looking in on our family wherever life took them. Now I just don't know. Just don't know about so many things. I've lost my sense of self. A good friend of mine who lost their son described feeling like a zombie. It is a description that has stuck with me, as that is what I feel like. Going through the motions, hoping that you get everything right. Even when you get assurances that you are, you just doubt it. Despite what anyone says, when you lose a child, your life becomes ongoing questions of doubt. The grief will not go away. Tristyn's birthday every January 18th is going to hurt. Every Mother's Day, that sacred family day, will have its painful moments. Every May 9th will hurt to remember what happened to our Tristyn. The anniversary dates are always difficult. As you know from the way too many parents that you've spoke to in your courtroom, the pain and triggers happen every day. Every day upon waking up is a cruel reminder that she is gone. Within our family, we had our tradition of Bailey Family Fun Day. No event in the world, it was as dear to me as our family dinners, and everyone would make it there on Sunday. Every Sunday is filled with hurt as the day she was ripped from us. It hurts us to the core to sit in my chair at the head of the table and have our baby not in her chair, but in an urn sitting on a shelf in front of me. My dreams of enjoying the big family reunion similar to those I grew up with have been stolen from us. As I said before, every family holiday we know, Tristyn should be there with us. Everything has that cast of what if over it. I am so proud of the resiliency and strength that my children have had since that.
He is about to, he's getting close to where he's going to ask the judge.
Day. Each of them have managed to have incredible accomplishments while going through this grieving process. It's difficult because it hurts to feel good without her here. And they have just been so incredible in continuing to move forward and carrying her with them. It's emotionally exhaustive to not allow the grief to overcome the positive. Your Honor, I'm hoping that you can see that he impacted all 7 of us for life. I would also remind you of the testimony from the medical examiner that he essentially killed Tristyn 7 times. 6 stabs that in and of themselves were lethal. The other 108 cumulative would have been lethal. From what Alexis and Stacy shared, you can only begin to imagine how the pain he put her through stays with us. Your Honor, we cannot turn back the hands of time so that we can have a different outcome. We cannot bring my Tristyn back. We cannot even be certain that the sentence you give on Friday will not be impacted as part of the 25-year review process. Yet you can deliver justice for our community. He took Tristyn's life. He impacted all Tristyn's family for life. You've heard how he shattered the innocence of childhood so many in our wonderful community for their life and the lives of their children. He even damaged the sanctity of Mother's Day for so many for their lives. Please, Your Honor, take this into consideration when you have to make your decision. Lastly, I want to place this rock. And this rock represents the loss to our family and the world for all of the good Tristyn would have done. Thank you for your time.
Okay. Well, go back. Okay, there it is.
Aiden Fucci was only 14 years old when he stabbed a 13-year-old girl from his class 114 times. When Fucci was arrested after...
This is what his reaction to his sentence was.
After the authorities found the girl's body, he posted videos of himself in the police car on Snapchat.
The Snapchat you get, his numbers.
That's you're all over the internet everywhere. Seriously.
Video evidence showed Fucci walking together before she was murdered, then Fucci running away from the scene.
114 stab wounds, 49 defensive wounds, 35 wounds to the head and neck, 29 to the back and shoulder, and 6 fatal wounds.
The judge's sentence was proportional to the gravity of Fucci's unforgivable crime.
Having entered a plea of guilty to the crime of first-degree murder, I sentence you to life in prison.
A beautiful life was tragically and violently ended in the woods on Mother's Day. The whole community rallied together wearing Tristyn's favorite color, aqua, to celebrate and honor her. As the youngest of 5 kids, Tristyn loved making her presence known, and she certainly shone bright. She recently won a cheer competition with the Infinity All-Stars.
We're having fun in a f***ing cop car.
Yep. This teen videoed himself in a police car after murdering his classmate by stabbing her over 100 times. Aiden Fucci stabbed cheerleader Tristyn Bailey 114 times before abandoning her body in the woods. Tristyn was only 13 when Fucci convinced her to leave her home and meet at a friend's house. During the journey, Fucci turned on her.
This surveillance video shows her at 1:15 a.m. She's walking with a 14-year-old classmate, Aiden Fucci.
Almost 2 hours later, the same video seems to show Fucci headed back alone carrying his shoes. Her body was found in the same area the next day.
We have located a body that is preliminarily identified as Tristyn Bailey.
Aiden Fucci was only 14 years old when he stabbed a 13-year-old girl from his class 114 times.
Well, I guess we're not going to get to see his reaction. Even though that's what it said. So we're not going to get to see it because they replayed the same video over. So I thank y'all for being here. I'm going to find another case to solve tomorrow. You can email me at Edward. Knock everything off the table. All right. Here's my email address. If you know of a case you would like me to look at and do some research on, please do not hesitate to email me and let me know, because I'll be happy to research and look at what I can find for you. All right, with that being said, do something nice for someone, even if it's just be the reason they smile today, and get well.